Welcome to Technically Speaking. This is the podcast of all things going on at Capital Area Technical Center here in Augusta, Maine. And I am joined by a couple travelers that have traveled with our school this year. I'm going to let you introduce yourselves and tell us what school you're from, what program you're in, what year you are in school.
I'm Shyann Miller. I am in the Culinary Arts program and I am a first year junior and I'm from Richmond High School.
I'm Putnam. I'm a first year Culinary Arts student and I'm a junior at Marina High School.
Okay, now I invited you on the show a little bit to talk about culinary arts, but let's just get started. Tell me about what you liked about culinary arts this year.
Well, I know personally I like it because I'm not into super the STEM based stuff, which is more or less what you get taught at high school. So being able to choose something that I actually really enjoy, that was a really cool thing for me. So.
It's funny you say it. There's a lot of science in cooking though.
There is, but it's not just okay, you're learning biology, you're learning chemistry. It's something I enjoy doing and I can learn math and science in a way that I enjoy. So.
Right, well, that's the other thing, math, lots of math.
Yes.
I'm glad you mentioned that. And how about you, Shyann? What have you enjoyed?
I grew up around cooking. Basically, my whole family cooks. I have a big family, so from the moment I could really walk, I was helping my mom in the kitchen. And then I went into culinary really not knowing what I wanted to do after high school, so I was just kind of iffy. And then once I got in, I felt like this is really what I wanted to do. And my instructors, they're always right behind you, saying you can do this, and they want to push you farther.
So you say you've been cooking forever. Have you learned new stuff here?
Yes. I've learned tons of new things. I've learned things that I never thought I'd even need. So it's a lot of fun.
Oh, it looks like you guys are having fun in there when I walk by all the time. So you both recently had the opportunity, I said that you were nationwide travelers. Tell us how you got to travel to Washington, D.C.
So we both competed in the ProStart competition. And we went to states in February. We won that. So we got to go to D.C. in May. It was a crazy experience. I'm on the culinary team, and
I'm on the management team. So we have two different aspects of the culinary world.
Yeah, it was really crazy.
And so tell me a little bit about your competitions then. You were in different ones and you were on a team.
Yep, so it's a team of 5 for both of us. There's 4 competitors and the manager. The culinary competition is a timed competition, so the manager's job is basically just to keep everybody on track and on a timeline while they're cooking. If you can talk about
The management competition it's basically like you Shark Tank your own restaurant. You create a whole concept for the restaurant. You create pretty much anything you need for a restaurant, and then you present it to judges. There are groups of judges that each have 7 minutes for our presentation and to ask questions. So it was crazy.
Now, what's really crazy to me is how much time, you guys put into it. Tell us about the preparation to what you did to.
Have you guys been practicing since October? We started practicing in October.
We started after you guys. We had tryouts in November.
Okay.
And then we started practicing over Zoom in I think late November, early December, and that was really hard because a lot of our schedules weren't lining up, and then we finally got to start practicing in person right before states. And then after states, we practice every week in person.
And the culinary team has been practicing twice a week since October, obviously in person, just menu development, and then really getting our plates down to what we want it to be, make sure it looks good, tastes good, everything's right, and then making sure we're able to stay on that timeline and get it done. So.
And when you say practice time, this was outside of your school day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Chef, both our chefs set up times after school with us because they don't want it to cut into our class time because they need to focus on everyone else and not just the ProStart team.
Unbelievable. So you guys are pretty dedicated. If you think about a sports season, yours went to 2 sports seasons.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yep. It did.
That was quite a commitment for sure. So what did you guys learn in the competition about yourselves, about competing, about culinary, whatever you want to go with that?
I know personally, I learned a lot about just how much confidence can get you because I was thrown in very last minute, to cook the dish, and that's something I hadn't done before. And just having the support from everybody, like my team, the management team, you know, both Chef Austin and Chef Parent, you know, they were so supportive the whole time, and I was able to get it done, and I don't think I could have done it without, you know, all the overwhelming support, just like, you got it, you know, you're gonna kill it.
And tell us a little backstory about that. Like, you practiced and practiced, but what happened when it came to competition?
So I was given the manager job at the beginning of the year, so the whole year I kind of just watched them do what they need to do. I mean, I'm keeping them on the timeline, but I'm not super familiar with like how they're doing everything because I have to watch 4 people instead of just focusing on one person's dish. So right before we left, like hours before we left, we found out that one of our teammates who was cooking the entree got COVID, so he couldn't travel to DC with us. So I had to step in as the manager. That's my role. I have to step in if something happens. We weren't expecting it, but the worst could have happened. It happened.
Yeah, I remember getting that call. I was on my way to work that night, and she goes, "Cheyenne, I have to cook the entree."
So and
The entree.
Yeah, and I had never cooked it. It was a duck breast. I've never cooked duck. So it was new for me. So thankfully, Chef had some spare ingredients, and when we got to DC in the hotel room the night before and hours before the competition, I was practicing that dish for the first time. And then the 4th time I cooked that dish was during the national competition. And
Wow.
we placed 5th, so obviously I didn't do too bad.
Awesome, and that's what they award the top
Yeah, they medal top 5, and in the nation. So out of 42 teams, we got 5th place, and it was a surreal experience for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Wow, your 4th time cooking duck after practicing in
Yep.
a hotel room.
Yep. Yes. Yeah.
And how about you, Shyann? What did you learn from the whole?
Honestly, I learned a lot about myself. Like, I went into culinary not talking to anyone. The first few weeks, I was the most quiet kid in the class. Like, you didn't hear a peep out of me unless I was asking a question to the teachers. And it just gave me a lot of confidence with publicly speaking and everything else. And it also taught me that you can't not be a team player. You have to know everyone's part. You have to be able to know everything, or else it's not going to go well.
But I bet it was hard working for with a team as well. Like, I did see some of your practices, and you all kind of on the management. You all had kind of a different style.
We don't all have a different style, and obviously everyone's going to have a different style in your everyday life. But then once you get to that, you want to know what other people are talking about. You want to know every aspect of the team and every aspect of your project as you can. You can't just say, I'm doing my part, I'm learning my part, and that's it. You have to know everyone's part.
And I think that probably was important when it came to the question time with the judges were.
Yeah, so the judges definitely grilled us. They were intense, and I feel like once you know everything, you answer the questions. I was the go-to person for people to answer the questions because I literally put everything into this project. I helped in every aspect that I could. I even cooked some of our dishes that are on our menu. So it was a great experience.
Oh, it sounds like it. It sounds like it was quite a learning experience outside of school. And London,
Yeah.
you were involved in another competition as
Yes.
well that you're going to travel some more this summer.
So I was part of the Skills USA competition for restaurant service, which is basically hosting, waitressing, setting up a table, napkin folds, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to Georgia actually in like 2.5, 3 weeks. So preparing for that right now. But yeah.
Did you ever imagine when you signed up
Absolutely
here
not.
at even going to Washington D.C.
No.
and then Georgia?
No, I was a very reserved kid. I was very to myself and, not outgoing, not out there at all. And then, I joined culinary and I just got a little bit more confidence every step of the way. And Chef she likes to say she threw me into the Skills USA competition because restaurant management isn't exactly my favorite thing. But she pushed for me to do it and I did it and I'm done really well in it. So obviously it's paid off, but yeah, I never would have expected it ever.
That is
Yeah.
awesome. I can't wait to hear about your time in Georgia. Good luck. We
Thank
all
you.
will be rooting for
Thank
you here in
you.
Maine. I think, how many, are there 6 of you going out to Georgia from the tech center? Or?
I think so.
Yeah.
I believe.
Very good. So you both, it's so cool how you feel like you both were shy when you came into the I would never have guessed it, talking to you guys today. What advice do you have to other students that might be thinking about coming to the tech center?
Do it.
Yeah,
Don't
100%.
don't think twice. Just do it.
Yeah.
And if you don't like the program you initially signed up for, there's always a second year. There's 2 weeks at the beginning of the year where you get to feel out where you want to be, and it's amazing. I love it here.
Yeah, I have the same thoughts. This was one of the best decisions I think I've made my whole life because it's helped me grow so incredibly much. And I've met some amazing people. I've met some really great friends through this program too. So it's amazing.
I think that is really cool. Like, you come from 8 sending schools, but I would think it would be so awesome to be in classes where people have the same interests as
Yes.
you.
Absolutely.
You
It's
got
definitely
In
so
different
passionate.
schools too.
Yeah.
So you're really meeting other people. And
I
it's
didn't really
awesome.
know anyone from anywhere other than my
Yeah.
school, and I was the only Richmond kid at the beginning of the year, and it was scary because everyone else had 2-3 kids from their school, and I'm sitting here with no one. But I met London, and I met a couple other people, and we've been best friends since.
That's so awesome. So awesome. So are you both coming back next year?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I think
Yes.
Jeff would kill you.
She would come find us,
Yeah.
and she would pull us from our other classes.
Yes, absolutely.
And then what are you looking at after you graduate? Do you have any idea where you want to take?
I want to go to SMCC. I want to major in business and minor in culinary, and then I want to open my own bakery someday.
Oh, I hope around here we need a good bakery in Central Maine.
I plan on taking my first 2 years in person and then taking the last 2 online so I can get a feel for where I want to open, how much it's going to take, what I want to do, and the design and everything else.
Oh, and you're thinking smartly, probably based on some of your project that you did for the competition. Yeah.
I think Cheyenne's really got to feel that. I know I want to go to SMCC, but probably Culinary Arts if we're being realistic. But I'm not 100% sure on what else. But that's what I got so far.
Hey, that's
So-
pretty good. That's pretty good. And I think you guys have a great opportunity being class of 2023.
Mhm.
You're free.
Yeah, free college.
Free college. That's awesome.
It is
Yeah.
awesome. And Southern Maine Community College, I feel like it's a hidden gem in the state. The campus is
And
just
we did get
beautiful.
$1,500 scholarships from states to SMCC.
Yeah.
So I feel like those would probably be able to go towards our room and board and stuff.
Yes.
I also got
With
other
tuition
ones
being
from
free,
nationals
yeah.
too. I got another
And we plan on rooming together.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much for taking a few minutes out of the kitchen. Sorry
Yeah.
for doing this morning.
It's okay.
To talk about your
Yeah,
experiences
of
and some of the opportunities here at the Tech Center. This is great, and we'll plan on catching up with you in the fall so you can tell
Yeah,
us
of
about
course,
Georgia.
of
That would be
course.
great, and we'll keep an eye on where you guys are going because I bet you both will do ProStart next year.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's plan on catching up next year
Awesome.
and updating people what's going on. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching this episode of Technically Speaking, and if you like this episode, I hope you'll subscribe to our channel so you'll never miss anything going on at our school.